Welcome to the Alpha Code. Today, we're diving into one of the most important books for anyone who wants to understand money in a deeper, more meaningful way: The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This book isn't about numbers or financial strategies. It's about how people think about money, the behaviors that lead to wealth, and the mindset shifts that can transform your financial life. So, if you're ready to rethink everything you know about wealth and money, let's get started. And hey, if you find this video valuable, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the Alpha Code for more content like this. 1. No one's crazy. One of the first lessons Housel teaches us is that everyone has their own experiences with money. We're all shaped by the time and place we grew up in, which means people behave differently when it comes to money. No one's behavior is crazy, it just reflects their experiences. Example: a person who grew up during a recession may be more cautious with money and avoid risky investments, while someone who only knew boom times might jump into speculative investments without a second thought. Both make sense from their perspectives. Chapter 2. Luck and Risk. In this chapter, we learn that success with money is part skill and part luck. Some people succeed because they took calculated risks, and some just got lucky. On the flip side, some failures happen due to bad luck, not because someone made bad choices. Example: imagine two people starting businesses. One makes millions because the market favors their product. The other, with just as good a product, fails because of an economic downturn. Understanding this can help us make peace with financial outcomes. Chapter 3. Never enough. The danger of never feeling like you have enough can lead to ruin. Housel tells the story of people who became billionaires but still wanted more, ultimately losing it all because they couldn't stop chasing higher returns. Example: think of the 2008 financial crisis, where many investors and companies couldn't stop taking risks, even though they already had substantial wealth. Greed can lead to the downfall if we don't recognize when enough is enough. Chapter 4. Confounding Compounding. Compounding returns are one of the most powerful forces in finance, but they take time to show their magic. The trick is to start early and stay patient. Example: Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, didn't make his billions overnight. He started investing early, and it was the power of compounding over decades that made him wealthy. Chapter 5. Getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. Making money and keeping money are two different things. Housel reminds us that to stay wealthy, you need a different mindset than when you're trying to build wealth. Protect what you have through smart decisions and caution. Example: it's like the difference between climbing a mountain and staying at the top. Many people get rich, but they lose it by taking unnecessary risks to get even richer. Chapter 6. Tails you win. Not every financial decision will pay off, but sometimes just a few successful decisions can make up for many small failures. The tails, or rare but large successes, can drive most of your wealth. Example: think of a venture capitalist. They might invest in 10 companies and 9 of them fail. But if one becomes the next Facebook or Google, the returns from that one success outweigh the losses from the others. Chapter 7. Freedom. True wealth isn't just about money, it's about having control over your time. The ability to wake up and do what you want when you want is one of the greatest forms of wealth. Example: consider someone who earns a modest income but has complete freedom in how they spend their day. Compare that to a millionaire trapped in a 9-to-5 job they hate. Who's truly wealthier? Chapter 8. Man in the Car Paradox. We often think that showing off wealth will earn us admiration from others. In reality, most people aren't impressed by the possessions. They're just thinking about themselves. Example: someone driving a Ferrari may think others admire their success, but most people are just thinking, I wish I had that car, not I admire that person for being rich. Wealth is what you don't see. Housel reminds us that true wealth is what you don't see: money saved and invested, not money spent on flashy things. The richest people might not look rich because their wealth is quietly growing in investments. Example: the person living in a modest home and driving a simple car may have a larger bank account than the one living in a mansion and driving a luxury car because they've saved more and invested wisely. Chapter 10. Save money. You don't need a reason to save. Saving gives you options, flexibility, and peace of mind. You may not know what you'll need money for in the future, but having a cushion helps you deal with unexpected situations. Example: think of an emergency fund. You may not expect to lose your job, but having savings ensures that you don't need to panic if it happens. Chapter 11. Reasonable Rational. When it comes to money, Being reasonable is often better than being perfectly rational. You need to find a balance between making good financial decisions and living a life you enjoy. Example: someone might tell you to invest every penny for the highest return. But if you enjoy travel or hobbies, it's reasonable to spend some money on those things, even if it's not the most rational financial choice. The most important events in financial history are surprises. No one can predict the future, and trying to time the market perfectly is a losing game. Example: think of the COVID-19 pandemic. No one could have predicted the massive economic impact, and those who tried to predict market movements before it happened likely lost out. Chapter 13: Room for Error. Always plan with a margin of safety in mind. The future is uncertain, and having some room for error can protect you from unexpected financial shocks. Example: if you're planning to retire at 65, it's smart to save more than you think you'll need in case of inflation, market downturns, or increased healthcare costs. Chapter 14: You'll change. Your financial goals will change over time. What you want at 25 will be different from what you want at 45, and that's okay. Be flexible in your approach to money. Example: early in your career, you might prioritize earning as much as possible. Later, you may value work-life balance more, and your focus might shift to saving for retirement. Chapter 15: Nothing's free. Every financial decision has a cost, even if it's not immediately visible. The cost of investing in stocks, for example, is dealing with volatility and uncertainty. Example: the price of growing your wealth through stocks is the mental stress of seeing your portfolio dip during a market crash. It's a cost, but one worth paying if you stay invested long term. Chapter 16: You and Me. People have different goals, timelines, and risk tolerances. What works for someone else may not work for you, and that's okay. Personal finance is personal for a reason. Example: your friend might be investing heavily in cryptocurrencies, but that doesn't mean it's the right strategy for you, especially if you prefer more stable long-term investments. Chapter 17: The Seduction of Pessimism. Bad news grabs our attention, but pessimism can be more seductive than optimism. It's easy to think that things will go wrong, but most long-term financial trends are positive. Example: headlines predicting market crashes often get more attention than those about slow, steady growth. But history shows that markets generally rise over time, despite short-term downturns. Chapter 18: When You'll Believe Anything. People are prone to believe in shortcuts to wealth, especially during times of uncertainty. Beware of get-rich-quick schemes and speculative bubbles. Example: the dot-com bubble of the early 2000s and the crypto bubble are both examples of people chasing easy money, only to lose it all when the bubble burst. Let's dive into the final chapters of The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, starting from Chapter 19. Chapter 19: All Together Now. Chapters together the key lessons learned throughout the book. Housel emphasizes that understanding the psychology of money requires us to apply a blend of patience, humility, and flexibility in our financial decisions. The chapter highlights how the principles discussed, such as understanding risk, compounding, and personal financial behavior, interact to create a more well-rounded approach to money. Example: consider how your emotions and habits influence the way you save or invest. If you allow fear to dominate your decisions, you might pull out of the stock market during a downturn, missing the opportunity for long-term growth. By using patience and understanding compounding, you learn that financial success often comes from consistent, small steps, not drastic decisions. Now, this chapter encourages readers to use the insights they've gained throughout the book to better manage their emotions and make wiser financial choices. Chapter 20: Confessions. In this final chapter, Housel gets personal. He shares his own financial habits and perspectives, admitting that his decisions are influenced by his upbringing, experiences, and values. This chapter is a reminder that there's no universal right way to manage money. It's personal, and what works for one person may not work for another. Example: Housel admits to having a conservative approach to money, choosing to prioritize financial security and independence over luxury. This is a direct reflection of his own upbringing and experiences with financial insecurity. The key takeaway here is that self-awareness and understanding one's personal relationship with money are crucial. The conclusion encourages readers to reflect on their own financial journey and to apply the lessons learned in a way that aligns with their individual goals and values. And that wraps up The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. These last two chapters bring the whole book full circle by reminding us that our emotions, experiences, and perspectives play a huge role in how we handle our finances. There isn't one right way to deal with money, but understanding your own psychology and behavior is the key to making smarter financial decisions. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the Alpha Code for more insightful content. Remember, mastering your mindset around money is just as important as understanding the numbers. Until next time, keep growing and learning.